Welcome, everyone, to Analytics Are for the Nerds, a comedy dynasty football podcast. Every celebrity is dying, but Ryan is thriving. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy?
I will say all I wanted for my birthday was one of those things where
big booty. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Ryan apparently has a dog. He knows all about it. I don't know.
Muffin?
We've
How's
never
Muffin
seen
doing?
it, heard of it.
Yeah. Is your dog in a cage right now? Probably.
I can't wait. You know what I imagine with Ryan's dog is it's like the fucking bird from Dumb and Dumber. He's just dragging like a dead dog on a leash. He's just like,
What? Why?
good boy. I don't know. We've never seen
It's a
or
girl
heard
dog.
about
It's
this
fluffy.
dog.
It's probably like a Maltese or a little cockapoo
Wait.
or something cute. Long live Dolly Parton.
Hold on, I gotta look up how she
Is not
is.
you're looking? Wait, do you not know who Dolly Parton is?
No, I know who she is. I'm just trying to see what she looks like now.
She's still with us.
No, I want to see what she looks like now because like 10 years ago I would have. Oh, I still would. 100% still would. Absolutely. How old is she? She's got to be like 80, right? Are you judging me? I can't see you because I'm looking at
we have
Google.
that ticker. Let me see.
Oh, you're judging.
We kept it in this week. I'm so sad, everyone. I am so sad. How are you guys doing?
I should go first because Ryan's gonna be like, I've had the best week.
I'm so sad. I will also start the podcast off. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Analytics Are for the Nerds. We've lost some really massive legends this week. We've lost the great Dolly Parton, who has been on the podcast verbally and allegedly. And then we've also lost Tim Curry, who is one of we've talked about Home Alone a bunch, and it just sucks. But with sadness comes happiness and joy, and we've got a roller hockey champ on this very own podcast. Ryan, congratulations, bud. We've got the images to prove it. You won a big ass Aldi's Stanley Cup. It's massive. It's huge. It's wow.
Yeah, it's a Stanley Cup. It basically look at that.
Look at that guy. Look at how
that.
happy he is. The Dixie Racks. What a very classic. Oh, wait, by the way, I saw this on my Instagram, and I was like, "Holy crap, Ryan! Congratulations!" And the very next image I got after that was this. This literally. I am not joking.
No way.
Audio listeners, this is a upper of a stripper on a bunch cake. I have a very weird algorithm now, thanks to Ryan. It's just Dolly Parton and cake toppers that are not suitable for work. That literally happened. Let's go back to Ryan.
That was actually Ryan a couple hours after the championship game. He partied like the USA hockey team did. They won, and he went right to the strip club.
Ryan's got a good core. Congratulations. You just look so happy, and just you're the goalie for the team, which obviously is such pressure. What was the final score, Ryan?
It was 11-9, and yes, go ahead, Louis, make your jokes. 9 goals let in. Did you really even show up? I'll beat you to the punch, but it was
half the game.
yeah. That's roller hockey. It was fun. It was good. It's just it's fun. Who whatever. It's roller hockey. Who cares?
I feel like that means roller hockey. That means the ball is coming at you at 2 millimeters like a minute.
No, it's a puck. It's a little puck. It's a
little.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's no. It's
not a ball.
no lie.
It's a
It's no. Yeah. It's fast. I don't mess
You
around
don't
with
use
that.
the rubber ball?
No, it's a plastic puck, with little slide things on it. I don't know.
And Ryan, one of the most important players get a very important prize or award at the end of the year, and that would be most valuable player. Who on your team earned that high esteem?
Jimmy won the MVP for the championship game, and I got the top goalie for the league. So yeah, there we
Let's
go.
go.
We took home a lot of hardware, our team. So
Amazing. Congratulations. I
Thank
can't wait for you guys to go to some sort of weird banquet hall to celebrate with baked ziti and rum and cokes. I'm very, very excited for
Top
you.
goalie of the league.
That's so
after
huge. I'm so happy for you. Congrats.
Winning the top goalie of the league after letting up 9 goals is like winning an eating contest after like 7 hot dogs. I mean, let's real big. What was your goals against during the season? What was it?
I don't know, Louis. I'll send you the link for the stats if you want. You can peruse that at your leisure.
I want to know who was voting on this. It feels like a rigged situation. No, championship goalie. You should definitely win. How many team league is it? More
He
than a
won the
4-team
final. That's
It's like there's
massive.
probably a dozen teams in the league. Yeah, it's not
Probably
like
means
4
there's
teams.
4.
No, there's like a dozen probably. Yeah.
Plus or minus 12.
I'm gonna come cheer you on next year as defending champs. You now have my fandom. I like a good bandwagon.
Listen, buddy, that's if you can get in the building. It's a hot ticket right now. People are really starting to catch on.
As you can see in the back, Ryan's dog is still with us. Thank you, Mark.
Yes.
A very bad week for all things love. So.
He's staging it like Birdie.
Oh no.
So
we cannot joke about these things.
I know. By the way, I am so sad. So the great. So congratulations, Ryan. That's a big deal. For all of those who have let 9 goals, and I mean, I feel like the Mets don't even let 9 in, but I'm very no seriously. It's a huge accomplishment. You should be very proud, and I mean, you're goalie. Like there's so much pressure. So. As always, you're the good staple of any team. So we're
my only regret is not lying to you guys about what the final score was. That's it.
You could have said anything.
I could have. Never would have known.
Even if you said 11-0, I would have been like, "Oh, your team just carried you with the goal."
Yeah, it would have been insulted anyway. Unless I said like 11-4, I think I would have been safe there. You wouldn't have been able to say anything.
Like, 11-4. I'd be like, you probably played pretty good.
Yeah, I'm congratulations. I just keep thinking about like just you missing like 9 in a row, and I'm just like, oh no, but it's and that jersey.
You guys are focusing on all the wrong things. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna get that cake topper. I'm just gonna say that. Thank you so much.
That is what we need to focus on.
That's what we need to focus. Congratulations, huge deal. So the sad stuff that happened this week. So. Louis was like, oh, I have to change the intro because Dolly Parton passed away. And I was like, oh, he's just trying to be a jerk because I wasn't on last week and he's probably doing some bit where it's like someone reacts and he record the screen and I don't know, he probably has some like AI glasses he bought online. And I was like, okay, nice bit. And then he was like, no, I'm serious. And then I looked it up and it's true. And the great Dolly Parton passed away. And I like it. I'm in a mood. It sucks. And Tim Curry, I had family over on Saturday, and my sister said something about Tim Curry being. She's like, "Oh, he's not with us." I read his autobiography last year, and we were talking about it. And she's like, "Yeah, it sucks that he's dead." And I was like, "No, he's alive." And she's like, "I bet you $20." And I was like, he's still with us." This happened on Saturday.
What?
So yes. I know. And then I was like, no, I know for a fact he's alive. And so I won. So I'm blaming the death of Tim Curry on my sister.
You won, but Tim Curry lost. That you mentioned Home Alone, which is great.
Yes. Rocky Horror.
I haven't even spent time with him. I really have always like just had a lot of respect for him, but it'd be hard. I think it would be hard for me to like sit here and think about everything. What's the first? That's the first thing you think of with him is Home Alone. Is that what's the first movie you think of?
I think of Rocky Horror Picture.
Okay, that's a good one.
He did Spam a lot. He did the play Spam a lot. He had this great album that came out in the 70s that like he's
And
just
I never knew that, and I never knew that until today. Today was the
yeah,
first time that I realized he was a musician.
yeah.
Ryan, do you have one that comes to your head for him? A movie?
Nope. No, I don't.
Uh,
Ryan hates the LGBTQ plus.
he was the OG Pennywise,
That's
correct?
not
Yep.
true.
Yes.
He was the OG Pennywise. What I think, what came to me, the first thing that comes to me, the one that it was like obviously everything goes back to nostalgia for me, but is the movie Clue.
Oh, he's so good at Clue.
He was so good at
Oh,
Clue. That
gee.
movie is so good, but he is obviously what makes that movie. And that character that he plays in that movie is like it is stuck with me for obviously 30 plus years because the movie.
Yes. So again, I read his autobiography, Flex, and they filmed multiple endings with different characters being the murderer. So then by the time they went to the screening, no one knew what the ending would be. So there'd be no spoilers, which is pretty cool
Wow, that's
because
cool.
there's just tons. It's just, he's remarkable. And also shout out to Ryan for doing the under the breath. There's your talk again.
There she is.
There she's a girl. There she is. Come here, girl. Come here. Bella. She's like, you better mark her safe. That angel, she better just have a nice soft pillow to sleep on. And then did you know there's another very big deal person who is no longer with us, passed away today. And then for any of my folks who were around in the 80s and early 90s, Debbie Storm Clark from American Gladiators passed away today at the age of 61.
Really?
She was the one that looked very strong and like she could kick any guy's ass. That was that
I
one.
mean, they all. I was
Yep.
gonna say all of them.
Yep.
But I do love Summer. That show. Man, I would do anything for that show to come back on today.
No, it would not be the same. Yes, like didn't they try to bring it back
They
a couple of
tried
years
it.
ago?
It
I
was
think
not good.
so.
It was not good, but they didn't bring back everything. You're right. It wouldn't be the same.
The
They
anabolic
needed the
steroids.
exact spandex outfits that would be a start. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it has to be the same. You know, that is a formative show. Like that was a great show. You know, yeah, I mean, I don't think they could redo it though well enough to make it worth it.
Yeah. I mean, she was very good at Powerball and Joust, which I mean, who didn't pretend like they had those massive Q-tips that were fighting with their siblings growing up? You know, it's just.
Yep.
So that's our three.
I made a joke today about the god of threes helping us out, and you know about one specific person. Didn't say it, but let the audience figure it out. Who? But then other people did correct me. They were like, it's already been three, because of the Hayden girl just a few days ago, right, or just a week ago.
Yeah.
I
Hayden girl, you mean
forgot
Hayden?
about her because she's super young, and then I did not hear about the Storm thing until now. You're just breaking that news. So yeah,
I know. It just.
Everyone is dying.
I'm like Grammy Award winner, someone that funded the Moderna vaccine. We've got a man who transformed Broadway, and Storm from American Gladiators. Everyone, pour one out for dear Storm. And then this is Ryan's big day. In Kevin James news, Kevin James's former TV wife Leah Remini has just been announced as a full-time cast member for season 16 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
Listen, it just goes to show you wherever Kevin James goes, good things follow, right? Yeah. I mean, I know he left her or she left him, but still good things are happening for her. So good. Yeah. That's good.
She got out of Scientology. She's now in The Real Housewives.
Get out of Scientology, right? So she's out there, and now she's married, and she's going to be on The Real Housewives show.
Do you think it's harder to get out of Scientology or a Planet Fitness monthly membership?
Let's do it. Let's do field work and figure this out.
All right. Well, I'm already a member at Planet Fitness. I can try to go cancel, and I'll let you know if you guys could do the work on the other.
Louis, you're the most spiritually open, so I feel like you should do the.
I will tell you. So, oh man, I should never talk without a plan, but I will. I'll go here a little bit. I hate when I go on these lists, but there was a time when I was searching for something, anything. I had, I'm not afraid of it. I had an addiction issue when I was a young kid, and we all know that. And everybody says, hey, look for a higher power. At that point in my life, I said, I don't know what I believe in. I don't want to tell everybody else what to believe in, or that anybody else is wrong. So I'm going to read up on everything. As a 16, 17-year-old kid, very mature of me. But I did read the Scientology book, and about halfway through, I was like, oh yeah, this is, they're wrong. I'll say that. I'm not going to tell everybody they're wrong, but these guys are fucked up.
I can rule them out.
These guys aren't okay. And so I don't think I'll be the one for that, but you could probably talk me into a few different things.
Yeah, I would have loved to see you at an NA or an AA meeting, and you just being like, yeah, I'm struggling, I'm sober, but man, L. Ron Hubbard, what a loser. And then you just start riffing on it, and everyone's like, hey.
It was that. I was at a. How long you've been? You remember that there was 2 bars on Forest by Elmwood that were like party bars back in the day, right?
One near Buff State, and Yep.
And I was in a rehab that was right across the street as like an 18-year-old, and I would be able to look out the window and see my friends going into the bar on Fridays and Saturdays, and I'm just looking out the window like Joey and Friends. Just, I'm so lonely.
Oh, so lonely.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
buddy.
Sometimes you take some wrong turns in life, and you just have to read R.L. Hubbard books.
But you know what? In the positive poly way of this, I'm glad you're alive and you're here, dude. And you would have gotten like mesothelioma or something in one of those bars because they were gross. So you didn't really.
They were so gross.
Yeah,
so gross.
But for real, you're definitely going to be the one we're going to send to the Scientology church to check this out.
100.
Yeah. I will say this is not. I'm not even somewhat joking. I would, if I had to put somebody on it that just came on one day and was like, guys, I'm in Scientology right now, it would be Allie. Maybe it's just because maybe you remind me of Leah Remini. Maybe that's it. I don't know why.
Leah Remini?
Remini. Did I say Remini?
Yeah, this is why we can't trust you to go to Scientology, because you give our cover away. Like you'd say, Tom Hanks,
be like the dog whistle guy holding up the fingers.
Yeah, right. Before ruining our plan. The answer is Planet Fitness. We find out after I come out like shorter bangs and I have a hunchback. You're like, what happened to her? It's fun. So in fun sports news, in terms of everything and nothing, Highmark Stadium, the new Buffalo Bills stadium, has been ranked as the NFL's most expensive to attend. So buckle up, Buffalo. In a recent study from the Action Network that analyzed the cost for a family of 4 to attend a game at all 32 NFL stadiums, the Bills' home game jumped. So this is just the home game, jumped from 5th place last year to 1st place this year in terms of most costly. The study used average prices for 4 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 pops, 2 beers, and parking to settle on $2,193.95. So one is only half the family's getting food, and only half the family's getting some beers. But they did a 10-year analysis that was so Buffalo has increased its price by 26%, and this year total for all, if you're comparing all the stadiums, it's 21% increase. So most expensive for the home opener. I think there's a lot of reasons why. New stadium, new smaller amount of people, and it's just remarkable. Any thoughts on that, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think that study doesn't really feel accurate to me. I mean, the numbers seem inaccurate. Now, if you're only going off the home opener and you're only going off of like the secondary market, which is obviously going to be high for the first game, no surprise. But I mean, it's going to balance out. There's no way the whole season is going to be like that. There's just an initial hype, and then you'll get more reasonable tickets as the season goes on. I have no doubt about that. So to me, it's a non-story. I get that it's going to be, garnering some attention because it's a new stadium and there's more eyes on it, but I'm not surprised about that at all. Of course, the first game in a brand new stadium in a football town is going to be very expensive. Newsflash. I mean, big surprise.
For any listener who is thinking about purchasing my tickets, these are going to be the cheapest seats you'll ever be able to buy. So please continue to purchase them at a high rate, please. Right.
No,
Try to make money.
That's exactly it. I mean, they're going off of the secondary market and
Yeah.
what people are assuming that they're going to get right now. I honestly don't even. I bet you season opener comes and day of it's going to drop dramatically because I think so many people have these tickets listed for these dumb prices because that's what everybody is doing. And I bet you comes down 30-40% by the games actually.
Yep.
And I think if you want tickets to that game and don't have them right now, wait till the morning of. And actually, you know what? Go tailgate and buy your tickets at 7:00 on StubHub, and you'll get in for cheap. I promise you.
Unless you're in section 220, row 6, and you want to buy those seats for the prices that are listed. So please, I just really want a good Christmas. So thank you. All right. Because they're up. Yeah, so I think it's kind of interesting, but it makes sense. It's a brand new, it's sparkly, it's lovely, but it makes sense. Let's see, what else do we got? We've got, do you want to get into actual sports talk? Because I could keep going, but I think we should talk what we got on the plan. So everyone knows that Louis is a lovely writer, and he writes for
Blitz Sports Media, yep. Sorry.
And there's some new articles that you just posted, but in your latest article, you talked about 3 players your friends will take 2 rounds too early. So you want to talk about this a little bit? You want to talk about what we got going on?
Sure, yeah. So I will, again, I will save some for Ryan to talk more about his because you can go read my takes on the article.
Ooh,
but
firewall.
my 3 guys were Jalen Warren. Why else besides my love for Rico Dowdle that I have shared quite a bit. I don't even hate Warren, to be honest, and we've talked about this a lot on the podcast to where I think he's got standalone value, and him and Dowdle both can be good. It's just my point is Dowdle is better than Warren and will be better than Warren, and you can get Dowdle to a round or 2 later. So I think he's going too much. And then I cheated a little bit, but I put all the second-tier QBs in my article, and that means everybody after Josh Allen and that next 5 to 6 guys, the Drake Mays, the Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, who else am I missing there? I don't even want to say Joe Burrow because I kind of like Burrow out of all of them the most. But that next second-tier guy, for me, it's Josh Allen or it's fading the position at all. I think there's a lot of guys later in the draft that you can get at the quarterback position if you don't get Josh. And then third guy I have is Travion Henderson. Again, I've wrote about this pretty much all off season. I think we've talked about it a lot on this podcast. It's just the same exact situation as the Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle thing. Is the better of the 2 running backs, Ramondre Stevenson, is going later, and so you should be looking for him instead of taking Henderson.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, I like this question because obviously it helps you identify players to both target and avoid, I think, in drafts. But my first one is a player that I think is being taken too early, but I just did it tonight, so I can see why, if that makes sense. It's KC Concepcion. The buzz around him is a bit different than some of these later round rookies, in my opinion, where it would be feasible that he has a legitimate role out of the gate and is featured by Todd Monken as like their main centerpiece of the offense. So I'm big into KC this year as even a redraft sleeper, so to speak, in the mid rounds. For my next one, I went the mid-range tight ends after our boy, I'll call him our boy, Dalton Kincaid. This range of like Ferguson, to Schultz, to Hockey. Like, so I think that range, I'd rather have guys like Jawan Johnson straight up, or even Kenyon Sadiq for like a late season push. I think some of the guys in the middle of that tier get pushed up, where I think the better thing to do is to just wait and go with guys like, Terrence Ferguson, who's obviously, starting to rise, but, is a bigger upshot. And then finally, my last pick would be Cam Scatabo. I'm not really big into Scatabo this year. I think he's going too early for what he's going to be. And honestly, Najee Harris, I know, Lou, you've been big into him in the past. I could imagine he's one of your types of guys because he's kind of just like a gross pick, but I think he makes all the sense in the world for that team, and especially a Harbaugh team, right? I mean, he is not going to trust Tyrone Tracy. He already basically sent him out back and took him out back. I think
earmuffs, Muffin. Earmuffs.
Yeah, yes. She's right here. She is right here.
Bella, poor Bella, the girl.
She can hardly hear. It's okay.
She's one of those ground moles. She's just running into things in the bathroom.
Yeah. So I think he's already listed as a co-starter, right, with Scatabo. I mean, I just think Najee is definitely in play to steal significant work, if nothing else, to be a crow on the side of Scatabo, enough to make me not want to take him.
Interesting.
Comment on one of your things, because I didn't catch the Concepcion thing. So you think he's going too early, but so it's tough. I mean, he's going too early, but I also can understand it. I can justify it. Like, there's a team build that it would make sense. If you are looking at these drafts, I mean, I took him over a lot of guys. I mean, I took him over Jaden Reed tonight, so you could think that's kind of dumb, but I would rather have a bigger shot because I knew I would have a chance of getting Golden after, and I'd rather go KC Golden than Jaden Reed and somebody else. I really think KC is going to outperform that ADP. I am 100% with you.
Yeah, that's the confidence of a league best goalie. So I get it. All right, guys. NFC hot takes. What do you got? Give me 3. Ryan, do you want to go first?
Sure. I have my first one is Jared Goff finishes as a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year. It might not be that hot of a take, but of course, everyone's predicting the Lions to be good. I just think he's going to be heavy into the passing touchdowns this year. And I think he's going to have a Matt Stafford-like season in Detroit where he's just all of their touchdowns are coming through the air, even the ones to Gibbs, because he's getting the screen passes and he can catch the ball in space, and he's just as effective as a pass catcher. So huge into the Lions this year. Next one is Terrence Ferguson. Hype is real. I'm going to say he has 8 or more touchdowns, and I'm going to say that it comes from very likely the Devontae Adams, touchdown share last year. I think he had 12 or 14 of them. I think Terrence Ferguson is going to eat into that. I'm going to say the hype is real, and he's legit. And then finally, Brock Purdy. I'm going to say he combines for between rushing and passing 35 touchdowns this year, which is pretty solid. So, I think he's another target in that range of quarterbacks. I mean, if you look at the way the reports are about Stribling, number one, and then the health of McCaffrey and the age of McCaffrey, I mean, even if it is McCaffrey's involved, it's going to be likely through the air a lot too. And that's Purdy. So, I mean, I think the Niners are sneaky set up for a nice year this year.
I keep on saying I don't have enough of Purdy, and I'm starting to catch up a little bit in this first quarter tournament because I kind of like him in that a lot. But I just don't have enough of them, and I don't have any reason why I shouldn't. I really, really wanted to find time in this podcast, and maybe next week it will still be going where we could talk about this first quarter tournament, because you and I talked about it a little bit the other day when we were together. Man, it is my favorite. I told you there was no content. Finally, Pete and the Ship Chasing guys did a show the other day on it, but the strategy is amazing. If you haven't checked that out, go check out that first quarter tournament over on Underdog. It's a lot of fun. My NFC hot takes here. I've been pushing this one all year. I'd be lying to say, or all off season, I'd be lying to if I said that the Jordan Tyson injury here doesn't scare me off of it a little bit. But I'm going to stick with the fact that the Saints are going to be a top 5 offense in the league this year when it comes to fantasy football production. I think Chuck. I think ETN. I don't think ETN could have found a better. Etchen. How are we supposed to say that
Achan.
now?
Achan.
Yeah, how are we
Achan.
supposed to say that now?
Achan.
I think he couldn't have gotten a better spot. I love Olave. I do think Shuck is a lot better than what his actual production was last year. If the rushing upside is there, Tyson's not going to be out all year, so hopefully he could get back around week 6 or 7. You know, I love a good Devon Vele. So I think that offense is good, and they should have one bad division. They should still have a lot of negative game scripts, so their offensive should be up there. I love that offense. I'm gonna go Malik Neighbors I'm gonna go real hot take here. I'm gonna go Malik Neighbors will be the #1 wide receiver overall.
That would be so great. I would love that.
I like it.
I truly think it's
Draft
there if he stays
Neighbors
healthy. So if he stays healthy, I'm gonna say that he is wide receiver 1, and then I'm gonna go with another wide receiver hot take that I like in the NFC, and that's Ted McMillan. I don't get why the steam has slowed down. I guess it's Bryce Young, right? I guess that's probably the easiest way to say it, but he had such a monstrous rookie year, and we're always so excited about trying to figure out the year 2 guy that's going to break out. Well, this guy already had his breakout, so if he does, expand on that in year 2, he'll be one of the better players in the league. So I'm going to call him a top 5 wide receiver. So I got Neighbors and Ted McMillan in my top 5 wide receivers overall.
All right. I have a off the topic question. The NFL allegedly, I mean, it's Adam Schefter announced it, but NFL's eliminated the Pro Bowl games. Which player do you think will be most disappointed that the Pro Bowl will be eliminated this year?
Is Reuben Brown still getting voted in every year? I mean, there are so many guys that have only got voted in each year based off of like name value, and the league guys that just are like, oh yeah, just put I know him, and that's how they got voted in for years. I mean, I think it's gotten to be. I think that the rookies are the young guys when it used to be in it hasn't even been in Hawaii in years, right? So like I think back in the day, I think some of maybe the younger players would have enjoyed it for that. I think you remember there was times maybe in the mid '90s where I think the players enjoyed it because they'd probably all go and party and they got to bring their families and stuff like that. It became more of a hassle for anything than anything. The investments in these players are way too much nowadays for them to go and get hurt and injuries and play a real game. It's just, I'm glad they got away from it.
All right. Next up, we have the NFC North preview. So we're getting down to the wire, guys. We're going through them all. So this week, we're going to talk about the NFC. So first up is the Lions. How many of the top 4 guys will outperform their ADPs? Louis, do you want to go first?
Sure. My answer is I don't think any of them, to be perfectly honest. I think Jameson Williams might have a chance if he stays in the range that he is and doesn't get steamed up too much, which I don't anticipate here over the next couple weeks. I think Gibbs is going to be great, but asking him to asking the #1 pick to actually be worth the #1 pick is a lot. It almost never happens, and whatever. I think that so he would have to be #1 for me to answer that question. I don't see St. Brown. I just don't have a lot of St. Brown. I'm again picking up on him a little bit in the first quarter tournament because he's got a really good early schedule, but I don't see him being wide receiver 5 or whatever or 4, whatever he's going. I don't see him being able to hold that. And then Laporta, I'm a little worried about, man. Another injury. Your boy Dan Campbell doesn't sound too confident about his week 1 status.
He was back today.
Was he?
Yeah, he was back practicing
today.
Yep.
Okay. Well, just a couple days ago, he said we don't know about week 1. So, I mean, still, even if he's back in practice, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be good to go. But again, another injury at least to be concerned about with him. And he's going tight end 6. Like, we talk about our boy Kincaid, and like there's guys, the Andrews, Kelsey even. Kelsey's never finished out of the top five in his career, and he's just going tight end 10 or 11 right now. Like I don't know if that's so. I just don't think Laporta is good enough to be where he's going right now.
My answer to this question is two. I'm going to say Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. I think JMO is underpriced right now. When he was healthy last year, I mean, he was really significantly eating into Amon Ra's, target share, and he was down the stretch. I thought kind of the better of the two wide receiver options. And so I'm big into him at that price. I think it's all about the price. Yes, I agree with your point on Gibbs. How can you outperform the number one overall pick? I mean, you have to have like a truly ridiculous, 400-point season. I mean, yeah, that's possible. I mean, I think that definitely could happen, but at the same time, I'm not going to bet on that. Same point with St. Brown. He's very likely to meet his ADP, but I don't see him exceeding it necessarily. So Williams definitely, and then my Laporta point is more so on. I mean, Drew Penting is their offensive coordinator now. He had huge success with McBride. I just think and the buzz around him is that Laporta's going to have a big year. Laporta's going to have a big year. I just think there's kind of been a drumbeat with him, and yes, the injury stuff is scary, especially with a player who has a history of it. He also had a 200-point rookie season in half PPR because he's truly one of the elite talents at tight end when he's healthy. So I'm betting on that mostly, especially if he falls to like the late 90s, and he has at least in the best ball drafts.
All right. Same question, but this time we're going to go with, let's go with the Bears. Top 4 guys who will outperform the ADP. Let's go, Ryan. I liked your enthusiasm on the last one, so let's go first.
All right, I'm going to say 3 on this one. I'm going to say everyone except for Rome Odunze, sorry to say. I mean, I like Rome just fine. I think he's a good real life receiver. I just don't know if he's ever going to be anything, useful or huge for us in fantasy. And he's still going at a pretty steep price for what he is, I think, what he's proven in the league. He's got like a 59 or so ADP right now. So I like Caleb a lot. I like him to outperform, what I think is a pretty modest QB price this year. He's going, I guess QB 7 or so. I just think he's a top 5 quarterback when everyone's humming and that offense is going to hum. I think this year it's pretty concentrated. So that's why I feel good about, I guess I did this maybe the wrong way. I didn't even consider Swift because I wasn't answering this question with Swift. I was thinking Loveland, Caleb. Yeah. And so I guess I should have not done that because I didn't consider Goff in the other one. But so I guess I'll say that my answer will be 2 because I don't think Swift's going to outperform it. I like Swift this year, just fine. But there's too many factors that could, result in him not beating that ADP. So I'd rather bet under on that. So I'll say Rome doesn't do it, but I say Burden and Loveland both do it, even though their price is expensive. I know, but man, everyone has been saying both, it's like those two are going to be the feet, focal point of the offense. I really expect that.
Yeah, I'm kind of totally opposite on them as I am the Lions. I do think there's a chance that all of them do, but I'm pretty certain on Swift, Loveland, and then it's the 2 wide receivers. I don't see a way that all 4 of them do, right? Like that just is really, really hard to assume that all 4 of them are going to beat their ADP. They'd have to be one of the best offenses of all time for that to happen. And I think where one of them will fail, and it might be both, is the wide receivers are both. Dunze's lost a lot of flair from last year. He was getting a lot of hype because Burden's taken a lot of it, but they're both getting drafted probably a touch higher than they should be in a sense of where all 4 of those guys are going to have pretty big roles and there's only one ball to go around. So if I had to bet one of the wide receivers won't hit it. I'm not very confident on who I want to say that. It would have been Odunze if we would have had this conversation a month ago. I think Burden's gotten steamed up so much, and then the little injury thing. Now I'm like, it could be him, and Odunze might end up being the value. But I love that team, love that offense.
All right. And then we've got the Vikings. Who will be their running back to own for fantasy playoffs? Who wants to take this one?
I'll go. My answer is, if we're only going roster guys right now, the only even option to me is Jordan Mason. But I'll go. I go. There's probably a good enough chance as anybody that's not on the roster right now as him. I don't know who that would be, so I'm going Jordan Mason, or James Conner was the other name I came up with. They're talking about him as a possible cut candidate. Sean Tucker, another guy possibly in Tampa Bay that they're saying might be cut, as another good example. If Sean Tucker went to Tampa Bay, if Sean Tucker went to Minnesota, I would fully expect him to be the clear-cut running back by week 6. Jordan Mason is gaining a little bit of steam with me only because I was biting on Claiborne only because of opportunity, but he looks horrible and he's undersized. Jones is ashes. He's done. He's dead. So it's Mason or somebody else that they bring in, and Tucker and Connor seem like two pretty good candidates for that if that would happen.
I don't think Jones is dust for the early part of the season. I think he's very likely to get a handful, at least like 40% of the share in the early part of the season. But the question, of course, is about the fantasy playoffs, which is not first couple of weeks. So I tend to agree.
Ryan, chill.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to agree with Louis. I think that I'd like to say Claiborne. I mean, my early best ball bags would love to have said Claiborne, and I thought there was a huge opportunity. Yeah, he hasn't really, lived up to it. I still think there's a chance, but my best bet would also be a player off the roster. I did also arrive on James Conner as likely being that player. He just seems to fit. I mean, they're not likely to go with a younger guy. They're not likely to make a big splash, but as far as a player that could be plug and play in an offense that expects, the running back to just do their job. I mean, he's a smart player. He'd be really reliable. He'd be decent. I think a pretty decent option for them. So yeah, I expect it to be somebody off the roster. Just kind of a situation to monitor. And it is one to, I think, pay attention to, because if you can get it right, I think it actually would potentially pay dividends. It's a good offense if you can find the right piece.
All right. And then lastly, the Packers. Who are you playing? How are you playing the whole Josh Jacobs situation? What are you doing with that?
Yeah, I'm avoiding Josh Jacobs basically almost altogether for two reasons. I mean, number one, I know the suspension tweet, about preparing for it. The possibility. I mean, it's potential, right? Of course, they're preparing if that happens. But even if that doesn't happen, he did not look very good last year. I mean, he was a straight volume play. I mean, he's really like the dead zone running back right now. Like he's not good. He doesn't have the independent talent anymore. His breakaway rate was way down. I'm just thinking you're not really getting anything for where you're paying, making that bet at pick 40. You're way better off, sniping, Lloyd, who is rising really, really quickly as people get a handle on the situation. But just like the Minnesota situation, I do want to buy a piece of this offense, especially at the running back position. And yeah, Lloyd's very mercurial and he could be injured. He could literally be injured, before the season starts. We don't know. He's fragile, but he's a big swing, and that's what you got to do sometimes in fantasy. So I'm taking Lloyd.
Big swing.
I just looked. I'm over 500 drafts. I can't do math that well, but I'm over 500 drafts, and I have one share of Josh Jacobs, and I bet you that was an auto.
Oh wow!
I faded him so hard. Between the suspension, between the injuries, between the age cliff, like I don't like the player beginning with that. I do think there's a real possible suspension. I've always liked Marshawn Lloyd with to Ryan's point. I keep referencing this first quarter tournament, but like he has become a really sexy pick for me in that thing because very good chance he's playing a game or two as the starter, and if he looks good, he'll just carve out a role in that offense, and it's a very good offense. So, I'm pretty done on Jacobs and where he's at, where he goes. There's just too many good other players, like really good wide receivers in that area. There's not a lot of running backs around him, so I find myself anytime I'm in or around that pick, it's picking a wide receiver or a quarterback. But full fade for me.
All right.
Oh nope, sorry.
Too soon. So this is what the fun part. This is the we're gonna give me your dynasty sleeper, dynasty bust, redraft sleeper, redraft bust. Who wants to go first, gentlemen?
Louis can go first.
That's so nice of you.
Very, very nice, champion. Thank you.
Champ.
I am gonna dynasty sleeper. I'm gonna go Matthew Golden, and I don't even love the player. It was hard for me to come up with a dynasty sleeper. Like, I mean, this offense or this division is so good with star fantasy players. We just talked about a lot of them in Detroit and Chicago. Obviously, you got Jefferson in Minnesota. And then and then the Packers have a couple really solid players. So like it's hard to come up with a quote unquote sleeper outside of Golden. He had a rough year last year, a rough rookie year. I think now with some opportunity with Doubs gone, maybe that gets a little bit better for him, especially early in the season. Maybe with a Kraft injury or Kraft getting eased back in. So I like that pick a lot, and I'm still not sold on Watson. I'm got a lot of them. I just like the injuries and whatever. I don't know. I think Golden's this isn't my favorite sleeper pick that we've had in this segment, but it just was a hard division to do it for. Dynasty bust is Laporta. I mentioned that earlier. I think he still has enough like swag or whatever you want, enough value in what most people give him credit for, that I think you could get off of him. And would you take Kincaid plus a little bit? Or I think you could. I think you could get Kincaid plus for Laporta right now, and I think I would do that in a heartbeat. My redraft sleeper, Kyler Murray. I think we've both talked about a lot of him this year and why we're excited about him. So I don't think that's crazy. But again, I think coming up with sleepers in this division were tough. And then redraft bust, I'm going to go Jordan Addison. I still want to believe in him as a player and an overall dynasty value. I don't want to give up on him, but I don't think Kyler is the best fit for him. So I don't think Addison's going to have a great year.
All right. So for my dynasty sleeper, I'm going to go real deep here, and I'm going to go Xavier Thomas. So the thought here is he's the third round pick of the Chicago Bears, and he also has like kind of a hybrid running back, tool skill, or skill to his bag. So I think he may, with the Monangai injury, get some opportunities this year, and if he does, I might be interested in him in deeper leagues. So just keep tabs on him. My dynasty bust is Christian Watson, just at cost. I mean, I like the player just fine, but he's a player that I know when he's healthy, it's like you can definitely plug him in, but doesn't seem like he's been able to do that for very often. And like, I might want to cash out on him. Like, he's got the same value right now as Dejon Stribling, and I think I would make that trade straight up right now. If I had Watson, I would try to get Stribling straight up for him. So if you could move him, that's about fair value if you want to get the same position. Redraft sleeper Golden, just the same reason. The price is much better. I mean, he's going in the pick, in the hundreds, or late 90s, early hundreds. I think he's a really live pick to be the number one or number two pass catching option on the team. And he's being drafted fourth. So and my redraft bust, we already talked about it, but Josh Jacobs, can't really draft him at this price. There is, of course, going to be a price that you could draft him, but I think it's probably closer to like, I mean, he's going at pick 40 now. I bet he drops to like 60 to 70, somewhere in that range.
You think that quickly?
No, but I think
Only
there's
if
going to
this
be
is
some
extended.
news. I'm just
Yeah.
predicting there's going to be news coming out soon. It just feels like the temperature is rising on that situation.
For sure.
Spoken like a true champ. Respect. And we're doing the best chain restaurant draft. I think this is because it's no longer ETN, it's HN, correct?
That's
chain?
why I sometimes I go. You guys can answer this. Have we ever done a September draft? I was thinking maybe but I couldn't think so. But I was like, it sounded familiar, so I was like, we won't do a September one. And obviously, that would have been some obvious questions. But maybe we'll still do it, or obvious answers. So sometimes there's a method behind my madness picking them. Today there really wasn't. I did mention before the show I thought it was really funny because Allie and I would probably never get caught dead in a chain restaurant. Like that's just not our. We're in a neighborhood where there's a lot of privately owned places, and I did not leave you out on purpose, Ryan. But let's face it, you like a good Olive Garden, I bet.
Don't take my number one pick here. Let it be.
Okay.
Listen. I need my Cisco American slop here. Give me.
Well, let me pick the order here and see if you get the number one pick. Actually, sorry, Allie got the number one pick. You do have number 2, and I have number 3. Allie, someone who may have never sat in a chain restaurant, what is the number one?
And you're really going to understand why here. And Ryan, just because what I feel like a chain restaurant does to you, I'm so glad you're going number 2 on this round. Dad jokes. Okay. My number 1 is going to be for the. Hey, number 3 is even worse. So wow. Involves the period. Okay. So I'm going number 1 is Starbucks. It's it grosses like $32 billion a year. It's everywhere. It's my comfort place, and it's where I get my quad espresso ice with a splash of almond milk. And that's why if you ever see me in public and I do finger guns, it's because the caffeine in my body. So Starbucks is my number 1.
Guest star of the podcast here just a few minutes ago, Jelena, absolutely loves a Starbucks. She goes in and they ask her if she's getting her regular, which is
a pop
bagel,
cup,
a bagel, a cheese Danish, and a pink drink. Since she was like 2 years old, I've been giving her pink drinks, which are caffeine. But that's a regular. You want to know how much of a regular she is? We ordered DoorDash one day. We ordered DoorDash home. We didn't go there. That's our routine, our Saturday morning routine. And she's so much of a regular that we ordered DoorDash and they knew it was her order without knowing the address, and they wrote "Hi Jelena" on the cup. So,
very cool. There's a new Snoopy launch that's happening if she's a Snoopy person, but keep your eyes open. All right, Ryan, what do you got for number 2, bud? You're feeling confident. What do you got?
I got 5 words for you guys. When you're here, you're family. I mean, what more do you need? Olive Garden, 2nd overall pick. Just give it a break for a second. I know the breadsticks there's like 1% of actual not chemical material in there, like actual food, flour, that type of thing. But it's good. It's still fine. And my daughters love it. We haven't gone since the whole, lettuce poop outbreak thing, but I wouldn't trust, Olive Garden to have picked the right farms. I'm not saying they're going to the right places, but I'm still taking it. I think of all the chain restaurants, it's the best. Like, what you're getting. You're getting Americanized, not Italian food at all. But it pretends to be, and it pretends pretty well. So I like it.
Great pick. And also the meatballs at all Olive Gardens are made right here in Western New York.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At Allie's house, actually. Allie makes every single
you'll find
for Olive Garden.
For every 3 meatballs, you'll find 1 piece of dog hair, everyone. It's very exciting. That's a great pick. Louis, what do you got for number 3?
This one's gonna be obviously a little personal for me. I worked there for years. I met all of my, my best friends. Some that are still friends, some that are no longer friends. But Outback Steakhouse has a special place in my heart. But for years, and I don't know if they have continued this post-COVID where everything is taking a shit, but they did make everything fresh and in-house. That's like one of the few chain restaurants that did that. All their sauces are made fresh. Their prep was great, and so I really did. I got my first
Bloomin' onion, dude, so good.
Bloomin' onion. I got my first I learned how to eat rice. Like that was like when I learned how to you don't eat steaks with steak sauce, and you order medium rare because that's how you eat a meat. I never had that. We were poor, so we ate our steaks well done with ketchup.
On a bun, and we called it a hamburger. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Outback has a special.
You had some server in an Australian accent saying, "Nah, mate, we don't do that here. We we order medium rare."
I was that server, but also it was because I tried to do that, and everybody's like, "Why do you sound Jamaican?"
Yeah, that was the worst. I sped through that to try and.
You drop the bit. Drop.
My second pick. I'm gonna go Red Lobster, mostly for the biscuits, like everybody else. It did also though, it was it was our fancy meal. Again, being broke as a kid, that was like our fancy meal. My mom would take us there for special occasions, so there's some nostalgia to it. It's where I learned that I like seafood. I didn't think I was a picky eater. I finally tried lobster, loved it, and then whatever. So Red Lobster, I think, is worth it.
Yeah, good pick. All right. I don't know if this counts. I mean, it's fast food, but it's still a chain. It's a restaurant. I mean, can I do that? Is that allowed? Sure. Okay, I'm gonna go McDonald's then. I mean, you kidding me? Who doesn't like McDonald's? I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's not good for you and all that stuff. But we're not. Who cares, right? This is not a healthy draft. We're not here to be healthy. And I mean, if you're talking about fries, I mean, a quarter pounder of cheese, whatever, like cheap meal, there it is. Nope, that's not it. But I still think it's like easy, probably the best of the fast food restaurants, in my opinion. So, I'd go McDonald's.
I respect that. Very controversial. Their fries are not vegetarian. They put beef juice in it, which
beef tallow?
No, like beef juice. It's even gross. That sounds like a good Wi-Fi password.
Beef juice.
Yeah. That's an Outback song. I don't know about that. Yeah. My number 2 pick is a place that I hold very dear. This was my Red Lobster, but it shows the socioeconomic differences between Louis and myself. He was getting microwave lobster, and I was getting Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's my number 2, the classic dip, the vanilla cone, and the red 40 chocolate dye. That's just fantastic. Long live a Dairy Queen.
Yep. And another one too, right? 2 in a row.
Yeah, you got another one. Sorry.
I was like,
I made myself. I'm sorry. I'm not being seductive. I cut. I'm not being seductive. I cut my finger on my pen.
But why? But what is the sucking of it? Like, that is the part I don't get. Like,
when has that been seductive to anyone? Do you want to know why? We could have changed. You could have still been married if you wouldn't have sucked your finger in front of anyone. All right. Okay. Sorry.
Dr. Evil is interrupting us.
Not suitable for work, everyone. Wow. My number 3 pick is the classic Moe's. I love a good intro. I love a side guac. I love a bag of tortilla chips in a miniature garbage bag. It's the best. Moe's. Welcome to Moe's.
Dude, I would have said that like 13 years ago, you were correct, but I feel like it's gone so far downhill. Like, I mean, it used to be like that. I used to really think it was like pretty good,
I
like
do like the
similar
Qdoba,
to, yeah, yeah.
but they're
But
just not around anymore.
no, they're not
Or
there.
airport, they're there, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, kind of like Quiznos. They died out pretty
Oh,
quickly. All right.
Oh,
Well, back to chain
wow.
restaurants.
He's putting his finger underwear on now, so we don't get too seduced.
There it is.
A Band-Aid, everyone, for the audio listeners. Louis was sucking his pinky, and now it sucked so hard the nail came off. Look at you. Glad you're okay, bud. Ryan, what do you got for your pick?
All right. I am gonna go with Red Robin. It's the fries, the speckled lemonade or whatever that, or freckled lemonade, the cherries or it's like strawberries in the lemonade. I don't know. It's good. It's just like way too much sugar, but whatever. It's good. Red Robin, baby.
You'll have to convince us. We believe you.
Yeah, you've had it.
I'm gonna go another place that I worked at, so maybe this is just becoming a place I worked at. But again, it gave me an appreciation for different types of food. Fried okra on the menu, green beans on the menu. I'm talking about Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel it's a great road trip stop. It's a great breakfast. They got the store, awesome place. Americana is Cracker Barrel. Even though they had that weird racist logo thing. Forget about that, but whatever that thing was, but they fixed it. I think they fixed it.
I feel like the food at Cracker Barrel does not get any warmer than lukewarm. Like you cannot order anything hot. Just it's impossible. When you get it, it still somehow has a little chill to it.
Is it because you're busy buying a rocking chair and some lip gloss and the weird market
and rock candy?
And my last pick is so hard, and I always when I draft these, I try to like switch the genres of my picks. But I'm gonna go back-to-back breakfast places here, even though Cracker Barrel's not necessarily, but Waffle House. Waffle House is like on a road trip. You see your first fucking Waffle House, I'm stopping. I don't care if it's 2 p.m. I'm getting some fucking pancakes. I'm not even getting waffles. I'm getting pancakes.
Wow.
Good pick. All right. I'm gonna go take a page out of Louis' book at a place that I used to work at. Again, like I think it's really good to work in a restaurant. And I worked at Carrabba's when I was in high school and a little bit of college, and I still think the food's like decent. And so yeah, I mean, I'll get it once in a while.
That one day, because you got to know so many of my friends. You probably were. I know a lot of people because I worked at Outback, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, we probably did know a lot of the same people. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm okay that I don't know any of those people. No, they sound nice. They sound great.
Didn't you see the movie Waiting?
Yes.
It was like that. We all hung out.
Oh,
for somebody that has been in that business for many years, waiting is it. Waiting is real. That's what happened. Go ahead. Sorry.
The one restaurant I worked at, Gabriel's Gate, the #1 chicken wing in Western New York.
Might be.
So my final pick is a place that I hold very dear. There's a lot of nostalgia for me on this, and this is the Palm, which is located throughout the U.S., but specifically there was about 9 in London, and it was a blast. And they're all over. They're Midtown. There's one in L.A., but the Palm.
Like that. Real quick, because I know we're running through the show. Buffalo Wild Wings, just because our name's in it. Bojangles is a fun one. Shake Shack, I think, is fun, but Shake Shack was fun to try it, and then it came here, and I'm like, it's whatever, never do it again. Auntie Anne's is always great in the mall. Auntie Anne's pretzels and Krispy Kreme. Man, why aren't they back here? I used to love Krispy Kreme.
They were too hot. Dunkin' Donuts classic, Pizza Hut. I have Denny's on here. I have Moe's. Oh, I said Moe's. Cold Stone Creamery. Those poor kids that are just chopping the ice cream. Man. And then a nice, what is the Baskin Robbins is always. I'm an ice cream person. That's like on my
Pizza
list.
Hut is another great poor person one
Oh,
because they used to
stuffed
have
crust.
the buffet,
Oh,
and I would eat the little like the little salad croutons, the little string croutons. I
yeah.
would just go up there,
Oh,
pre-COVID, just 5-year-old snot running my. I would just grab a handful and I even use the little clipper, the little like
Clippers.
tongs they have.
The Clippers.
Clippers tongue.
He's taking
That's
toenail clippers and he's just like,
You remember
Is
the
this
ground
okay? Can I
round?
do this?
Is the ground,
yeah,
is the ground
there's no
round a
pandemic.
national- Was the ground round a national thing or just local? I think the ground round when we were kids, you used to pay what you weigh on Tuesdays, and my mom would like starve me for 3 days, so she only had to pay 64 cents instead of 68 cents. But
Whoa.
ground
Wow.
round is a great place.
Wow.
You're unconscious. She's dragging you in, throwing you on the scale. Quick, get him his burger.
I was too big as a kid, so it wouldn't have worked for my family. That's why we never went. My mom's like, $2. I don't
even think I need honorable mentions. I mean, who cares about Texas Roadhouse anymore?
No, it's
That was good.
Yeah,
Roadhouse is excellent.
or Cheesecake Factory and their 8 pages of selections. You order something on the menu and something like the waiter doesn't even know they have that. It's like, no, it's actually in the fine print. If you look closely.
So good. Excellent choices, everyone. And we'll say PF Chang's because we're nice people too. Because that's also, I love a good mall chain restaurant. But thank you everyone for listening to Analytics for the Nerds. Football is starting very soon. We've got a Thursday preseason game tomorrow. So buckle up, guys. It's getting fun. So we'll see you soon. Have a good night.